से भाई.
Good evening, sir. I'm Aniruddha Borkar, and I'm a firm believer in science. I'm a student, and I'm an atheist. And my study of science has taught me that there's no religion. Religion is a farce. I believe God doesn't exist, and religion is nothing more than a medieval hangover. It has no place in the 21st century. But since many of my friends believe in one religion or the other, invariably we end up discussing religion. I haven't been able to get satisfactory answers to some of my questions, and they suggested that I ask these questions to you. Now, these are not exactly my queries or questions, but rather arguments, and I would like to know your views on them. In the absence of any material evidence, don't you think religion is nothing but a blind faith? Because any body of knowledge, be it science, economics, history, geography, anything, it needs some material
of God. That's the reason Francis Bacon, a very great philosopher and scientist, he said that little knowledge of science makes you an atheist and in-depth knowledge of science makes you a believer in God. Aaj ki science is not eliminating God, they're eliminating models of God. La ilaha illallah. So the more science you know, shallow knowledge of science will make you an atheist. In-depth knowledge of science will make you a believer in God. But you will start thinking, this thing cannot be God. A God who can be killed, a God who can die, a God who requires help from a second God. Then you are eliminating, this cannot be God, this cannot be God. La ilaha, no God, no God. But Allah, the creator of this universe, the manufacturer of this universe, the inventor of this universe. So, the answer with the help of science. There is no way you can scientifically prove the existence of God except with the help of the Quran. With the help of the Quran, you can scientifically prove the existence of God if he is a true scientist and if unbiased. If he is biased, yet he may keep on beating on the bush. If he is unbiased and if he truly has knowledge of science, like many questions you told, you gave me wrong answers, I helped you, then you agreed with it. So if a person who has true knowledge of science will agree that there is one God, which we call as creator, which we call as sustainer, which we call as maker. In Arabic we say Allah.
Just a final question.
Before the final question, do you agree that the author of this is the inventor, the manufacturer of the creation, of the universe? You may not know his name. Name is not important. Quran says in Surah Isra chapter 17 verse 110, قُلْ ادُوا اللَّهَ وَذُوا الرَّحْمَنَ أَيَّمَا تَدْعُوا فَلَهُ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. Say call upon him by Allah or by Rahman. Whichever name you call upon him, to him belong the most beautiful names. Final question will come later on. Let's handle one question. See, asking question is very easy. Agree it is right or wrong. Teacher ने ये नहीं कहा कि पहला right है कि wrong है, तीसरे पे चौथे पे जा रहा है. I am a person who believes in doing few things but properly. I am a scientist. I don't know whether you are a scientist or not, though you claim to be.
I'm not a scientist. I never said I'm a scientist. I said I'm a student of science.
Fine. Student of science means not a good scientist, but scientist. But chota mota hai na. Student of scientist will not be a geologist. A student of science is not expert. So we believe in at least solving one thing properly rather than jumping on 20 things. Correct? So I am asking you, do you agree that the author of this Quran is the inventor, is the maker of this universe?
No. Because I believe, I assume...
It is not the question of assumption. I asked you so many questions. You kept on giving the answer. But 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, agreed. 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, you agree. 6 plus 2 is equal to 8, you agree. No, but 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4. You already said 2 plus 2 is equal to 4.
I don't know who wrote Quran.
Fine. I'm not asking who wrote. Who could have mentioned it? You agree with it has to be the creator. You don't know the name. I'm not asking you the name. I'm telling you about the entity. Name is not important.
So you believe there's an entity that created the world?
Correct.
Just one minute.
Wait. I don't believe. Whether I believe or not is not important. You agreed with it. That entity you called as the creator, as the manufacturer. Let's not jump to a second question. Whether I agree or not is irrelevant now. You said that. And I proved with your statement what you call him is secondary.
With all due respect, please don't put words in my mouth.
You said, didn't you say creator?
Not
didn't
in
you
this
say inventor
context.
for the car?
For the car. Yeah, it was context specific.
I asked you something which you don't know about. Who would say? Again you went to the same answer. The inventor, the manufacturer. So this also, the author has to be the same. When you say A plus 2 is equal to 4, A becomes a plus 2 is equal to 4. So a is equal to
2.
2 you minus from here, 4 minus 2, a is equal to 2. No, but I never said it is equal to 2. But you agreed a plus 2 is equal to 4. So as a scientist, I have to agree with you. You said a is equal to 2. That means you don't know maths, so it's not worth talking about science. You agreed with it that the person is a creator. It's being recorded on so many cameras. I think more than 25 cameras. And you're saying I'm putting words in your mouth. No, you're laying allegation against me. As though I'm telling a lie. But am I telling a lie?
I'm not saying that.
So it is simple. It's simple equation. If you cannot believe in this equation, then what is the discussion? What is the use of talking about science? That means you're not a student of science also. Leave us as scientist. You have to agree what you say. If you backtrack, then we are wasting time here. If you made a mistake, you say you made a mistake. If you agree, you have to agree. You can't just because you are being proved something which you didn't want to be proved, that means you're not truthful to yourself. That means you're shooting and then drawing the bullseye. You understand? If you got the answer by a technique I used using science, now because the answer is so easy, you are not accepting it because it goes against your assumption. In science, if the experiment goes against your assumption, you change your assumption. Right or wrong? Why are you changing your assumption? That means you're not a scientist. You can make an assumption, you do experiment. If it matches your assumption, it is right. If it doesn't match, you change your assumption. So do you change your assumption that? Do you change your assumption or not?
I believe the creator are natural forces.
Forget which force it is. There is a creator or not is my question. What do you want to discuss first? Point number 1, we have to believe there is a creator. Finish.
In an abstract sense, yes.
Whether abstract or physical, we'll discuss tomorrow. Is there a creator or not?
But then the question is,
Don't ask me a second question, please. You are the longest we have given you time. Don't take advantage of because there are so many people standing in the queue there. Let's not waste time. I want to finish it within less than a minute. Is there a creator or not? Do you agree, yes or no? Whether abstract or not, we'll discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow means not tomorrow. Tomorrow means if you want to discuss, inshallah, in my cabin after the lecture gets over, 11 o'clock onwards, no problem. For 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, I will give you time. After 11 p.m. Done? That means we believe there's a creator. This creator, what we call in Arabic, we'll discuss after. We Muslims in Arabic call as Allah. Some people call as God. So now when you know the true picture of the God, the false picture is removed. So now there is no God but Allah. And what is the more details of Allah? You can see my DVDs. I'll give it to you on the concept of God in various religions. That will give you more knowledge. And my cassette is the Quran God's word. I request the volunteers to give him a DVD of Is the Quran God's word. Then we'll discuss more qualities of God after. Hope that answers the question.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। दोस्तों, एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा लंबी वीडियो थी, तकरीबन कुछ 45 मिनट के लगभग थी, और उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप लोगों को पसंद आई होगी। और एक बहुत सारी बातें इस वीडियो में थी जो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद आई, लेकिन जिसमें जो सबसे अहम बात थी वो ये कि कम इल्म, साइंस का कम नॉलेज और कम इल्म वो इंसान को एथियस्ट बनाता है, और ज़्यादा इल्म और ज़्यादा नॉलेज और एक बड़ा साइंटिस्ट वो उसको जो है अल्लाह ताला पर या खुदा पर यकीन रखने वाला बनाता है। तो बहुत खूबसूरत वीडियो थी, मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद आई। और अगर आप अभी तक ये वीडियो देख रहे हो तो उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप लोग भी इस वीडियो से खूब लुत्फ़अंदोज़ हुए होंगे। जब वो सवाल पूछता है तो ऐसा लगता है कि इसका बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल जवाब होगा, लेकिन यकीन करें जब डॉक्टर ज़ाकिर नाइक उनको जवाब देते हैं, फिर आदमी सोचता है कि इस जवाब से बेहतर और कोई जवाब शायद ना हो, और वो डायरेक्ट इस तरह देते हैं। तो ये तो एक तो दोस्तों इल्म भी होता है, अल्लाह ताला इंसान को नॉलेज और इल्म और ये सब कुछ देते हैं, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ उसको जो है फ़िक़्ह फ़िद्दीन यानी कि समझ भी अता करता है, उसको यानी कि जहन कवी करता है, उसको डायरेक्ट किस सवाल पर जो है एक यानी कि एक डायरेक्ट सवाल पर डायरेक्ट बेहतरीन जवाब कैसे दिया जा सके। बेशक आपके पास इल्म बहुत ज़्यादा हो, लेकिन अगर आपके पास फ़िक़्ह फ़िद्दीन ना हो और ये अल्लाह की एक अता होती है, अगर अल्लाह की अता आपके पास ना हो तो ये सब बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल है। तो मुझे वीडियो बहुत पसंद आई, आप लोगों को कैसी लगी कमेंट में मुझे ज़रूर बताएं। वस्सलाम।